What's up everyone, Sean here, and welcome to my impressions on Titanfall 2. I managed to download the tech demo or multiplayer tech test on the PlayStation 4, and after playing a couple of games, or pretty much 2 hours overall combined, I think I'm ready to share my thoughts on this game. First off, this is my first time playing a Titanfall game in general. I never really got to play the first Titanfall game that was only on the Xbox. And I was really glad to really get this experience on the PS4. I mean, sure, this is Titanfall 2, but, you know, of course, it's Titanfall. The wall running is there, the gun combat, the mechs, and then some more. Of course, they're going to add some more Titans, and you got the grappling hook. There are some additions in there. But nonetheless, I really am glad to really get the opportunity to experience Titanfall at all, thanks to Titanfall 2 being multi-platform this time around. However, with all that said, after really understanding the meta of Titanfall, I'm really not too impressed by it. It just doesn't feel too fresh to me, or fresh enough for me to purchase this game in full price, and I actually went ahead and canceled my pre-order for Titanfall 2. I was actually really eager to get this game. I really was glad to be able to get this tech demo out of the way and really understand the game was like. Now, I'm not saying that the game is, not bad at all or anything like that. The gun combat or just the combat overall just feels pretty satisfying at times. It's good. It's pretty robust. I really actually like the grappling hook. How it's actually momentum based, and you actually can feel the momentum, and it just feels real. That's what I really like about Titanfall 2. But again, it's just not fresh enough for me to really be convinced, and it just didn't seal the deal for me. The way you build meter to get your Titan it just felt too familiar with Overwatch, and even with all the grappling hook and mobility, wall running and all that stuff. It just really didn't impress me enough for me to, even with all the wall running and grappling hooks, the way you can get on the Titan and take out the battery, it just didn't impress me enough for me to buy this at full price, pre-order and everything, and dedicate my time to it. And even if I actually go ahead and purchase this game, I feel like this is just gonna be sitting on the shelf because there's already other shooters that I'm going to be focused on, like Battlefield and the upcoming Call of Duty game and Overwatch. I mean, those games really have their distinctive meta that I really like about Battlefield having that simulation field. It's huge, pretty big maps, and the vehicles, and it's just the overall feel with the guns, and plus. Battlefield 1 is going to be World War 1, so I feel like it's going to be really cool. I really like the World War era of the shooters, and having to see that on a modern console, that's something for me to really want to get. And when it comes to Call of Duty, that has its own distinct thing as well, with the kill streaks and the pacing, the speed, and the arcadey feel. That's just something I've been so familiar with. And that's something I've really enjoyed since my younger days as a gamer. So that's why I'm going ahead and getting Infinite Warfare, and along with the Call of Duty 4 Remastered Edition on the PS4 as well. Overwatch, of course, has its own very distinct style to it. The visuals, the overall gameplay, the meta, having to play with your teammates, the uniqueness between the heroes, the characters, the way you use them, how you can synchronize with your teammates, the skins, the overall design, the look to it. Overwatch has very distinct thing that I really love about, and I really would love to continue with that as well. So my point is that I feel like Titanfall 2 doesn't feel distinct enough for me to stick with it along with other shooters as well, and I would just much rather dedicate my time to those other shooters because they have their own distinction. Titanfall 2 just feels like a lot of shooters blend into one, and I know that Titanfall was the first to do all this wall running and stuff, or at least popularize it and put it back on the market. Even the mechs or Titans themselves don't really add so much, and they just feel like big people. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just a weird analogy, but it just feels like it doesn't have enough weight. It doesn't feel like you're really in a robot. It just feels like you're just a bigger person squishing other people, and I don't know, it's just so funny because there's Attack on Titan and Titans and big people. I don't know, and oh yeah, people. Not to mention people are grappling around. I don't know. I don't know. I kind of went off a little tangent there, but anyways, all the other things just feel very familiar, and I just felt like it just took things from other games, and that's your product. Getting your Titan feels like you're building up your ultimate, which is from Destiny or Overwatch and even Black Ops 3. And funny enough, Black Ops 3 has wall running as well, but that's another thing. It's just for me, Titanfall 2 doesn't distinguish itself away from the other shooters enough for me to put my $60 in there and dedicate my time to it in the future. But I will say this for Titanfall 2: if you're into the mechs, if you're into just crazy mobility, if you're into good combat as well, and since you can build up your meter even after you're dying, you can still build up your way to getting that Titan. So everyone gets a chance to get their Titan at one point. So dying in this game doesn't really make you feel as frustrated as, let's say, Call of Duty, since every time you die, you lose your kill streak. I would say pick this up, and if you don't feel like picking up Battlefield or Call of Duty or anything, or even Overwatch, this is probably the game for you. But for me, it's just not fresh for me, and it's not distinct enough. It just doesn't have its own character to me, so that I would go ahead and put my full money down and pre-order and everything. It just doesn't justify it for me. So that's pretty much it for Titanfall 2 and my impressions on it. If you have any comments, opinions, thoughts that you want to share, leave me down below in the comment section. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It always helps, and I highly appreciate it. In the description box, there's a bunch of links that you can check out, including Twitter and Patreon and all that stuff. So, but again, I really highly appreciate it if you guys take the time to do so. But it's not a huge obligation. So I'll let the rest of the gameplay roll out, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you later. Peace!
Pilot. Great work, 6-4.